So, Vinny, how unnatural was that fall by Zaza? Because that's the key point here. Like, oh, everyone falls. Well, how unnatural was that, him landing on Westbrook?
Well, where he landed on Westbrook is a problem, and it didn't look like he was, trying to protect anything and using his hands to kind of get out of the way. He has obviously a little bit of a history with Westbrook. He has a little bit of a history with Kawhi Leonard last year, and there, just like he kind of just rolled over on him. There's different camera angles right here, but wouldn't you put your arms out to try to stop yourself from falling on someone? But, hey, he's a big guy. He's done things in the past. Luckily, Westbrook wasn't hurt because then it would be more of an issue. But, you never want to put a player in a position where you're going to do something to hurt him, change the outcome of a game or really change his career. Zaza's a big guy. He started, those size guys, they start falling you, it's going to hurt. Luckily, Westbrook wasn't hurt bad.
Sam, that history that Vinny is talking about was last January where Westbrook comes off a high screen and roll, and then Zaza steps out and just knocks him to the floor. Let's check it out here. With this kind of history, is Zaza a dirty player? And then he steps over him and looks at him. Look, that looks like a dirty player.
It's not about whether he's a dirty player or not. Let me get a Golden State Warriors some advice. When you have a player like Zaza, and his job is to be an enforcer and to put people on the ground, now think about it. Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, these are the best players on those teams. When I played for the Pacers, when people went at Reggie Miller, guess what we did? Yeah. We didn't go back at the guy that hit Reggie. We went after their superstars. And what the Golden State Warriors better start having a conversation with Zaza about is this. When other teams start thinking that he's out there doing that intentionally and he's targeting the other team's best player, at some point, we're going to not come at Zaza. We're going to come at your best player. So you start looking at Steph. You start looking at Durant. So now think about this. What if Steph Curry starts going up for shots and people start walking up under him? How are Golden State Warriors are going to react? What about Kevin Durant goes to the basket and fall down, and then the opposing team center, who's 7'1", 270, 80 pounds, start falling on his legs without, like Vinny said, trying to brace himself. So if I'm the Golden State Warriors, I would put an end to this because at some point, they're not going to hit Zaza. They're going to start hitting their Golden State best player when we're down. Do you want Durant? Do you want anybody falling on Steph Curry ankles in a regular season game with 24 games before the playoffs? That would be my concern if I'm the Golden State Warriors.
Vinny, you made an interesting point about the fact that Russell Westbrook was not hurt on this play, and in last January he didn't, end up being hurt for the season. Well, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been the same since that injury and the impact of that. He's only played 9 games this season, wasn't effective in that series in the playoffs last year. How bad of a moment is that for the league when you have a guy involved in plays like this, like Zaza was, taking out a player like Kawhi Leonard?
Hey, it's a star-driven league. We all know that. I mean, you're talking about Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, 2 of the biggest stars we have in the league. Kawhi's had some other injuries. That was a game where San Antonio had a big lead at the time, and losing a guy like Kawhi Leonard in that playoff series, that's the difference between winning and losing. That's how great of a player he is.
How would the playoffs look, Vinny, if Kawhi Leonard was healthy coming down the stretch?
Yeah,
when
you never know.
OKC, Golden State, Houston, and then a healthy Kawhi Leonard in San Antonio, and then just think about how exciting the playoffs would be and how tough it would be if those teams were fully healthy. So, and you don't know, did that injury in the playoffs, did that have something to do? Because is it on that same leg? And Vinny knows this. When you start getting hurt in the NBA or professional sports, it started with my hip, then it was my knee, then it was my ankles, my shoulder. It seemed like it all happens on one side of your body.